Hello. Hello everyone. I haven't done a toy review in a while, so today we'll do a toy review of Sangetsu Shin, Kamen Rider figure. These figures have been flying off the shelves. I'm a little behind on my toy reviews. For that, I'm sorry. These toys are difficult to find right now, even in Japan, and when you do find them, sometimes they're kind of expensive, but I was kind of lucky with this figure. If you're not happy with the fact that I'm doing a toy review, I first suggest to say that, think about this. Somebody in Williamsville, New York loves you. Now, who, we don't know, but, yeah. Some of these... There's a train in the back of my apartment, so you might hear a train every once in a while. And with that said, another thing about this review is that some of it will be in live action and some of it will be in stop motion. The live action will be to show the gimmicks a lot better. And a stop motion, stop motion. So, away we shall go. First, though, I have had a request, so I'm going to take care of the request real quickly. The request was to take a closer look at the insides of the helmet. So let's do that. As you see, I have on this table the helmets, so you can take a look at the pieces that go inside the heads, and also appears as the eyes. So, from left to right, we have Kamen Rider Gaim's orange and pineapple and strawberry helmets. Next, we have the banana and grape helmets, or Kamen Rider Baron's and Kamen Rider Ryugen's helmets. Then we have the melon helmet, along with the mango and the kiwi helmet. A quick story before I show you this toy. I'm not kidding that these toys are literally flying off the shelves. This particular action figure was not even on the shelf. The store that I went to buy it at just had a sign on the door that, please, if you want this toy, there was either a pre-sale, I think you had a pre-sale ticket, or is already sold out. I was lucky enough that when I went to the register, I asked for this guy and they were able to give me an unreserved toy, which kind of was nice. Which is just strange for me, because they've never done this with the Kamen Rider figure so far, and yet the last character, which Kamen Rider Guido, I haven't been able to get. So, you know, and yeah, these toys are flying off the shelves. I sat around the store one day at a cafe that was connected to the store and watched the toys just leave. They had a whole, like, 2 cases just fly off the shelf within like 20 minutes. Okay, so alright, let's go on to the toy. As I usually like to do with these stop motion toy reviews, I'm going to take the box and spin it around a little bit slowly so you can get an idea of what the box looks like, as well as take close-up pictures of the box. This toy itself cost, although there wasn't a price tag placed on it, it cost 2,100 yen, which is about, give or take, about $22 in American. This guy right here is a difficult one to find. He came out a few weeks ago, and by the time I went to the store, they were all sold out. I think they probably sold out within an hour or so. These two guys have not been released yet. This guy on the hopper, he'll be released in about a week or 2, and the other guy will be released in the middle of next month. I will now take the Energy Melon Arms and compare it side by side to the Melon Arms previously released. These will both be in their fruit state. Now let's take a look at the visor and the helmet. As you see, the visor for this helmet is completely smooth, and unlike the other helmets, does not have any details etched into it. I will now take a moment and compare side by side Kamen Rider Sangetsu unarmored with this Sangetsu Shin. As you can see, the legs are identical and probably the same mold, whereas the hips are a different mold, as well as the torso is completely different mold, although the arms are probably very much the same. The head is also a very different sculpt. I'm not really sure if you can see from my pictures, but the legs, although differently painted, are very much the same. One thing I would like to point out, and I'm not exactly sure if it's a design flaw or if it's just I received a defective toy, but as you can see, as usual, one arm can fold very well at the elbow, whereas the other arm cannot. This is the extent of its ability to go up, fold up, and maybe that's because he's an archer, and that's how archers, they're supposed to keep their arms straight. But it is an unusual detail, and again, it might just be a defect that I picked up. But either way, it's a good toy. Okay, so now let's take a look at the gimmick of this figure. Yeah, I think one of the main reasons that this thing can't go up anymore is because he is an archer, and archers usually have this arm straight. But still, considering how I was able to get it, maybe it was a defect or a return toy. I could be wrong. First, I want to take a look at the armors, and with this armor, put the helmet into this. Okay, to do that is it unfolds differently, like the other toys. Hold on for a second as I zoom in on the armor. Okay, so unlike the other armors, which more or less opens like this, this armor has a different way of opening. Here, the back opens, the front opens, and the side, there's a beam that connects it, and it goes like this. Okay. Also, as you may see, there are some tabs for the things to add or to be attached in. Like this is for the front plate when it's folded up. This is a tab for the side. To put the helmet in, it's a little tricky, so put in as such, much like the other helmets. What's tricky about it is this bridge has a habit of knocking it over, so kind of have the bridge up already. Okay. And there's a peg here to fit in here, and here we have the watermelon assembled. Now, much like the other toys, you just slide it on. Hold on for a second. Okay, there you go. When you do your own camera, eh? Real quickly, the arrow. Before I attach this to this, the arrow folds in like this. As you see, this does bend a little bit, which is kind of nice. And then we do have a little peg hole for the armor. Okay, so this attaches to the peg holes here. And because his crown is quite big, you have to make sure that it does fit in through here. Okay, as you see, there is a space for it. So attach it as such. Now that it's secured, and now let's lower the armor. Voila. And let's place the armor, the arrow, the bow and arrow, excuse me, onto its peg right here. This is where it's supposed to attach, but you also have this helmet peg that kind of, it doesn't help, but it does fit okay. Okay. Now, it is, I like the character, I like the show, so I would recommend getting this guy, because at this point, this guy, I can't find him anywhere anymore. I think he was only created for the movie Power Up Toys. Plus, he was only really available for December so far. I haven't seen any other place that carries him anymore. Now, and this is probably the question that everyone is probably curious about, and I was curious about as well, being the fact that this armor can attach in a very similar way as the other armors. Can this attach in the same to the other figures? It can. Hold on for a second. Quite often with these toys, when you pull off the helmet, or pull off the armor with the helmet attached, the helmet might not be securely attached, so it will come off when you take it off. So I just recommend putting, after you take the armor off, make sure the helmet is attached for future use. Okay, now we got it all folded up. Let's see what this guy looks like with this. Okay, as you see, it attaches normally. Yep. Voila. Alright. And this guy with just the melon armor. Again, watch out for the crown. Okay, secure it, and well, I think they got a little loose. Excuse me for a moment. Yep. 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 All right, and this is what he looks like. As you see, the helmet has these ridges that attach to this faceplate very well, but it doesn't have the same effect here. What I'm going to do next in stop motion is I'm going to change armors, put this armor onto this guy, and give him a turnaround in stop motion. Alright, thank you. And that'll be about it.